So I'm out on the tarmac again today. Pretty crisp day, cold, but not freezing. I mean, it's mid-50s, but it feels a little, or maybe it's not quite mid-50s. But anyway, it feels a little chilly. But I looked at the forecast, and the 10-day forecast, it doesn't get to the 50s again. And there's a bunch of rain coming. And after that, it's probably going to get colder, so who knows? This could potentially be the last outdoor ride of November, at least, maybe even the year. Who knows how December's going to go. So now that the season's coming down to a close, I thought I'd share why I got into cycling and why I ended up, and why I kept on doing it. So I guess it kind of starts in 2019 when I wasn't doing any kinds of exercising or not paying attention to my weight at all, and I got on a scale and it says I was 200 pounds. I had never weighed 200 pounds in my entire life. So I said, I got to do something about this. And then a couple of months went by, and I hadn't done anything about it yet. And I jumped on the scale again just to see if maybe I'd lost some weight just by chance. And it said I was 220 pounds. Now I'm only about 5'7" and a half. So yeah. So I changed my diet, started eating a lot of salads almost every night for dinner, started doing walks, and then worked my way up to starting doing running. And I would run every day for about 5K once I got up to speed, but it was always a chore. I didn't like doing it, but I knew I had to do something. And that's when I noticed all these cyclists around me. There's a good number of cyclists in this area. So I thought, maybe I should get a bike. So by the time I bought my bike, my first bike, a Rockhopper mountain bike, I'd already lost about 35 pounds due to diet and running. So I was down to like 185, but I was really struggling to bring any more off at that point. And I loved the mountain bike. I did lots of local trails, and it was good because I was a little afraid to be around cars. But I quickly realized that I really wanted a road bike now, so I could go longer distances and get even more exercise in. So about 3 months after, 3 or 4 months after the Rockhopper, I got my first road bike, and that's when I really fell in love with cycling. So I started going on longer and longer rides on the road bike. Started like 25, 30, and I hit 40. I did a 50-mile ride, and then I did a few metric centuries, which is still about my max so far. And boy, did the weight start coming off. I mean, I went from 185 in May 2020, and I'm 145 today. Even in my 30s and 40s, I only fluctuated between 160 and 180. So yeah, it's been a huge help in losing weight. Even when I was losing weight through running and diet, my belly wouldn't really go down. Everything else was, I was losing weight everywhere, but I still had a belly. But once I started cycling, that seemed to take care of that too. I mean, I went from a 38 waist, I'm now a 32, which is what I used to be in high school. So in the end, I cycled for exercise, and now I cycle for fun. So what is it about cycling that kept me interested? Some might say obsessed. Some of it's hard to explain. I mean, just being out here on the road and away from it all, it's got a calming, soothing effect. Peace of mind kind of thing. I love the satisfaction of climbing a hill, putting some power into it. And then I love the reward of a descent after that climb. This being one of my favorites. I mean, you just fly down here at like 40 miles an hour. It's exhilarating. The more you ride, the more confident you get. You feel at one with the bike. Another wonderful thing, and maybe one of the best things about cycling for me, is just pure exploration. For instance, right now I'm riding somewhere that I probably never would have been by if I only rode my car. Because these are back roads with I always look for quiet roads, and in that search it leads me to places I've never been in my car. And some of them are absolutely beautiful. Like here, it's quiet, and as I take a right down this intersection, it's nothing but farms. It's absolutely one of my favorite stretches of road. I feel I never really knew my area at all. Now that I've explored it on a bicycle. I also like that it's a very low impact on as far as your joints go. Probably one of the better exercises you can do. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff I like about cycling. I just can't think of them right now. I say if you haven't ridden in a while, try it. It might work for you. And that sums it up for my possible season-ending ride outdoors. Just going to enjoy the rest of the ride home.